What is up, YouTube? Back here with another video this week, and it's all about how you can create effective Facebook lookalike audiences for your Facebook ads. Today, I'm going to be walking you through the benefits of actually having a Facebook lookalike audience and also a step-by-step tutorial of how you can set it up for yourself on your side of the business. So if you want to learn the basics of how to actually set up a Facebook lookalike audience and also the benefits of it as well, then be sure to keep on watching. Okay, first off, what is a Facebook lookalike audience? Within Facebook, you have so many options of targeting. You have the normal parameters like the age, demographic, location, interests, behaviors, all that stuff. And then you have like split testing, and then you have like custom audiences, and then lastly, you have Facebook lookalike audiences. And I know I just mentioned custom audiences, so if you're curious about what a custom audience is and how to exactly master that, then be sure to check out the video over here to learn more about it, because I have a video all about all the steps that you can achieve to master custom audiences on Facebook. Alright, so at this point, you learned about all the options that you potentially have for targeting on Facebook ads. But what is a Facebook lookalike audience and why should you do it? So for Facebook lookalike audiences, how it exactly works is that Facebook will take an existing audience that you have on your Facebook ads. So whether or not you have a custom audience that you made previously, or you have an email list of users that you have from an email campaign that you generated, or even just social media people that interacted with your business. So all of these people are pretty much the basis and foundation for your lookalike audience. So instead of doing all the hard work yourself, Facebook will actually take that existing audience and then replicate it into a different audience, but also they will magnify this audience to a greater level. And what I mean by this is that you can increase the percentage of how many people you want to target in a certain region within Canada, US, or pretty much anywhere in the world. Alright, so for example, say that you had an email campaign that went out recently and you got over 500 emails from this campaign alone. And so you know at this point, all the people that sign up for this email campaign are really interested in your product. And what you want to do now is that you want to target ads toward these people. But you're also very curious if whether or not people in the city from the 500 people of emails that you got can be replicated to other people in different parts of the world. So say that the 500 email list that you got is currently in Canada, you could potentially create a lookalike audience to reach the US, Europe, or even more based on the people that you have within Canada. And what's super awesome about this is that lookalike audiences is generally a lot cheaper than other options that you have through Facebook targeting options. And the reason is that Facebook doesn't have to do so much work in trying to convert people into making a sale or getting their interest, because the people that they really replicate their interest from is from a list that you already created or already have from previous campaigns in the past. Alright guys, so now I'm going to show you my screen and actually walk you step by step how I personally always create a lookalike audience on Facebook Business Manager. You see here on my screen, this is where I would initially go. So, and if you go back here, so I have my campaign selected, and then we have the ad set selected. So once you hit your ad set that you want to change up your audience in, hit the button edit. And then once you click edit, the screen over here will pop up. And then after that, you want to scroll down, go to the audience section. So past the budget, right over here. Okay, so this is pretty much where your Facebook Business Manager, Facebook lookalike audience magic will all happen. So as previously mentioned, a Facebook lookalike audience is pretty much an audience that Facebook will replicate off of an existing audience. So as I previously mentioned, Facebook will likely take an audience that you will already have used in the past. So something based on locations, age, gender, languages even, detailed targeting, so you can target like demographics, interests, and behaviors. So if you have an audience you've used in the past that has all that information, you can use that as an example. And then once you do that, you can create a lookalike audience. And how you want to create a lookalike audience is that you want to go into create new, and then you want to hit right over here, lookalike audience. And so once you actually make an audience, so if you have an audience, for example, you have a general audience, that can be one option that you can use. And then you can also use custom audience. So within custom audience, you have a pretty much wide range of different options that you can go into. So if I click custom audience over here, you can see that you can get it from website traffic in the past, so people who have interacted with your website personally, or you can upload a customer file or a customer list. So this is, again, like the thing that I mentioned previously. If you have like an email campaign that went out recently and you had like X amount of emails from alone that campaign, you can use it in your customer audience. Offline activity, video, lead forms, all that stuff. So Pretty much, if you use a custom audience in the past and it's in the form of any of these options, you can create a lookalike audience from that area. Okay, so just going back, it's pretty simple. So if you go into lookalike audience again, and this is again after the fact that you've either created an audience or you've used an audience in the past that Facebook can again replicate for future campaigns. You can go into value-based sources or other sources, and I don't have anything here because this is a test account again. Like I haven't actually used this account for any marketing purposes. It's just a test account that I use to showcase you guys exactly how I set things up step by step. So if you did have an audience and a test audience that you used in the past, it would show up in this screen over here. And so once you find that audience, you want to click that audience, and then you want to go down to step number 2. So I mentioned this part in the previous part of this video, is that you can target your lookalike audience to different parts of the world. So say again, if your email list is in Canada, and you want to really understand of whether or not your product would do really well in parts of Europe or even North America, specifically the US. So you could put like United States. Yeah, so you can put United States. So if this is your first time actually doing a lookalike audience, I would really recommend doing the number 1 to number 2 percentages, only because you can see down here below, audience size ranges 1 to 10 of the combined population of the selected locations. A number 1%, they say here, consists of people most similar to your lookalike source. And so when you increase this down to like 10 and 9%, you can see that the percentage and the increase is humongous. Like it's like 25 million users that you can reach. Additionally, from the people that you already have from your custom audience or regular targeting. And so when you get to that stage, it's very broad. So it's good for like testing, but I wouldn't really recommend it if it's your first time, because then your results would be kind of skewed and you probably won't get the exact and most recommended results that you really want. So I would always do 1 to 2% first to test out to see how you like it. And then if you think it's going well for you, then, all by means, go 9 or 10. It's up to you guys. But otherwise, once you do that, you want to click create your audience down here. And then once you do that, it'll pop up as the new audience in the box right over here. Alright guys, so setting up a Facebook lookalike audience is actually pretty easy, as you can see in the previous clip. And so I would really recommend doing this one over anything else on Facebook advertising, only because it's cheaper, it's also more targeted and more niche, and you'll get a higher click-through rate because people who are being targeted from lookalike audiences are generally people who are interested in your product or your business. Alright guys, so if you did enjoy the content in this video, then be sure to give it a big thumbs up and also hit that notification bell and subscribe button so you can be notified when I post a video next, and I'll see you guys next week.